Hey guys, Thunderstruck MTV here. Well, there she is. I told you in the last first kind of look video that I was going to take my time building it up, and in my opinion I did. Had her built up in 5 days. My wife and daughter, they disagree with that. They think I was, quote, extra, and went too hard on it. Yeah, there you go. So she's all built. First ride is tomorrow morning. So what I thought I'd do is a real quick, last look at it before it gets dirty type bike, and we'll go over a few things. We'll go over a few quirks that if you're looking to get this frame, you need to listen to this first quirk. You really do. But yeah, we'll kind of go over it. So parts spec. I'm going to keep this video as short as I can. Yes, even for Thunderstruck, the part spec will be in the video description as it sits here today in this configuration. Okay, it'll be listed detailed. If you want to know what's on this bike, go have a look. Everything came off of the whole Mr. Sad matte blackout over there. Everything came off there with the only new part being the Rockshox version 2 30.9 175 dropper. That's it. So first off, let's get to some good, and then some quirks, and then we'll go from there. So first off, this bike will come with the best manual you've ever seen in your entire life for a bike. You can also download it online from Specialized, but it also comes with a great hard copy. Everything you literally want to know, every single bolt, every single torque spec, the size of the bolt, every single bearing, torque value, the part number in case you replace something, the torque sequence. They want you to tighten all the linkage in a very specific torque sequence, the best. That brings us to what the first quirk is. It said it has seat post insertion for all sizes, extra small through extra large. On this size large, it's listed as 285 millimeters. Okay, and that's the kind of the industry standard from the top of the collar here down, 285. That's what it's listed. So I punched that number in on the Rockshox calculator, along with the next measurement, which was from the top of the seat collar here to here for my ride height, and that punched out a 200 millimeter dropper was acceptable. But it only gave me 2 or 3 mil, I forget exactly, 2 or 3 mil of play, and I was like, ooh, that's awful close. So I didn't order the dropper. I waited till I got the frame. I just happened to have a 30.9 seat post from the good old days of my 9 full suspension bike back in 2015. Put that sucker in there to measure real, and nope, it hits this bolt right here and the rib nut that goes in, and it hits right there. 277 millimeters. That's an 8 millimeter delta difference, shorter. Had I purchased that 200 millimeter dropper blindly, I'd be a sad little boy. I would have put it in, probably be some witness marks and some scuffs as it goes down to the aluminum frame. I wouldn't have been able to return it, and yeah, that would have been a bad day. So if you are getting this frame, or you have a complete bike, and you're in between sizes, or right at the size of I was for whatever dropper you're looking at, guys, I would implore you to measure. Get a UC post from eBay, whatever you have to do, a 30.9, measure it yourself, because it was 8 mil off, and that's a big nugget. So that's number one. Number two is the chain ring I use is a 30, and I use a 1050 on the back, and that's a 30 tooth in the front. A 30 tooth is spec'd as the minimum chainring size for both 52 millimeter chain line, which this is, or 55 millimeter chain line for light SRAM transmission. And then the max chainring size is 34 millimeter for the 52 chain line and 36 millimeter for the 55 chain line. So here's my 30, which is approved, and says, but guys, look at how close the chain is to the top of the chainstay protector. It just feels, and yes, the chain is sized correctly, it just feels like that's going to be an issue and possibly creating a groove into there. So even though 30 tooth is listed as the minimum official chainring size per Specialized, I don't know. So I have a 32 tooth inbound. Not super thrilled with that because I really like this gearing as it sits. That's why I chose it. Going with a 32 is going to put me in first gear a lot more. Right now I kind of use first gear as a bailout gear. Well, now with a 32, I'm going to have to use first gear as a true first gear. So not super thrilled, not the end of the world, but something to note. So those are the two quirks in the order of importance, I think. Now a little bit lighter quirk. Headset. So this comes with the headset cups pre-installed. I believe it to be an FSA rebranded to Specialized headset is what I believe. Cups are pre-installed, you're ready to go. It's probably great for 99 out of 100 people. I wanted the Creak Hellbender 70, so I knocked out those pre-installed headset cups and threw this in. As I pressed them in, I noticed that there's a ridge that the headset cup itself sticks out further on the top and the bottom than does the head tube. It's kind of hard to see, but there's just a little bit of a ridge because the headset outside diameter is a little bit wider than the head tube diameter. So of course I called Creak, was like, what the heck? And basically in a nutshell, he just said, well, Specialized probably is eking every ounce they can out of this bike, and they used a little bit narrower of a head tube, and so that's what gives sort of that look, that finished look. He said, nothing to worry about, all is good. When I first installed it, when it was just a frame, I was like, man, it looks like balls. Now I can't even really find it on camera. It's hard to even find, but trust me, it's there. But it blends in once the fork is on and the stem is on. You can't see it, so that's just something to be aware of. Doing that. Second thing is the rear wheel axle torque is the highest I've ever come across. They want 15 Newton meters to tighten that axle. I've never seen a rear axle above 10. Have you guys? Maybe it's just whatever bikes, but it's always 10 mil or 10 Newton meter for the rear axle. That's a 15 Newton meter nugget right there, and was pretty tight. As I was doing it, I got some really nice torque wrenches, and you know, they're digital and they're accurate. But man, that's a tight one. My guess is, just a guess, maybe it has something to do with the flex stays and the chain stay of the aluminum down there for that torque value. But I didn't question it. I just torqued it to 15, just like it said. So again, kind of a quirk there. Lastly, is this rear brake caliper placement. Not a fan of that style. I know why they did it for weight. I get it. I know. But man, it just makes it hard to line up and accurately align the caliper to the rotor, and no, just grabbing the rear brake and squeezing and tightening does not work on most bikes, and it certainly didn't work on this bike either. So usually I'll put like a paper towel here, white with my headlight on it, or if I'm lucky, I got one of those nice big bright things there, and I can look right down and get that thing just absolutely perfect. It's just hard to, at this angle here, it's hard to get in there. So again, a quirk, and on top of that, look at the, can you see it? Look at the cotter key. The cotter key there is going to hit the seat stay right there. So if you want to take out your brake pads, you're going to have to remove the caliper first, because there's no way to get that cotter pin out, because it's going to hit the seat stay. That's kind of weird. Not a big deal, I don't think. Whenever I change brake pads, I always have the caliper off anyway, because I'm cleaning it, I'm pushing back the brake pads to reset the system and the whole 9 yards. So not a real big deal, but maybe for those of you that are racing on race day or something, maybe that's something to keep in mind. You can always just put the cotter pin backwards from the inside out, and that would totally work and totally fix that issue. But again, worth mentioning, I think, on the frame. So that leaves us with pretty much all the quirks in the order I think that are important. And then that's going to lead us now to the last quirk. I think, maybe it's not a quirk, you guys let me know in the comments, was the shock. Back in the day, 2015, on my 9 Rip 9, it was a Rockshox Monarch, maybe like an RL, but a Rockshox Monarch. And the PSI was pretty much a pound per weight, per body weight, PSI per pound. So this one here, I expected kind of the same, right? So I went in, and serial number is right on top there. It's hard to see, but it's on top, that's fun. And punched it into the Rockshox Trailhead app along with my weight and the 110 millimeters of travel, the 30% sag. 286 PSI for my 215 weight. I'm about 210, but I like to put 5 pounds of weight extra on for, you know, my helmet, my gear, everything. And I like to have the water bottle as well that will eventually be on there. So I just kind of do 215 as a rough starting point. 286 pounds PSI. And if you haven't tried to punch in 286 PSI on a regular Rockshox hand pump that you use for the fork, well, you're in for quite the workout. You're in for quite the shoulder exercises and even some biceps. So that was kind of a quirk. It's kind of nice. It has 10 rebounds a click, 10 clicks a rebound on the shock. And even at that, what I think is a high PSI, the max PSI is 360. So the street thick's 360, and I'm only at 286. I put only in air quotes, but it's nice that I'm only halfway at the rebound setting. So there's plenty of headroom for riders that weigh more than I do. So that's kind of cool. But again, that really caught me off guard that the PSI was going to be that high. So yeah, those are the quirks, the good, the bad, the ugly. Seat post is the main one. That 30 tooth, I don't know if it's gonna be an issue or not. I am gonna ride it tomorrow. I'm gonna probably stay out of 12th gear a little bit more than I normally would, but I am gonna ride in it and then get home and see if I have any type of weird groove or anything going on there. And then we'll revisit that as my 32 tooth comes in. So anyway, guys, gals, there you go. She's gonna get dirty. I did not ride wrap it. Whatever's gonna happen to her is gonna happen to her. I'm okay with that. As fastidious as I am about a clean bike and clean garage and whatever else, I'm actually okay with trail rock chips, okay? Totally okay. Kind of funny. You wanna hear crazy? This is crazy. I'm totally okay with all of these. Everything you see down here, everything down there from showing through, yeah. Everything's cool. I'm good with all that. Except for that one. You know why I'm not good with that one? You guessed it. I dropped the tool right there, and I did that myself, dropping a tool. So that one bothered the hell out of me. But the other 900, I'm totally fine with. That's a story for my therapist. We'll go over that in another session. So anyway, guys, gals, there you go. First ride tomorrow. I'm going to get at least 6 rides. You won't see a video on this for probably 3 weeks, okay? And I don't want to have any confirmation bias if it's the greatest thing ever because I spent money on it. I want to make sure I get this thing dialed in and give you a fair and honest thought coming up. So don't look for something right away. Again, all the part specs are listed down to the headset spacers are listed in the description below as it sits here today. So again, hope you all are doing well. Get out and ride this weekend. And if you've made it this far through one of my yammering videos, I appreciate you. Again, thanks guys. Have a good one. See ya.